What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? What? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Yeah, I know it's been a couple of weeks. It's been just a couple of weeks. I was here talking about appreciate your progress. Wasn't that long ago. The irony of me to talk about consistency is key. But I think there's so many different ways that one can be consistent, and not to confuse you, but I do believe there are different ways that one can be consistent, but consistency is key. And that's what I want to talk about today. I feel like I may have talked about this earlier on in my series. Since we've been in the pandemic, and I have been attempting work thriving. We'll just claim that thriving in the pandemic. I really have felt a a deeper value to being consistent and my consistency. I'm going to be looking to the lesson times because I got some notes there because I just was like, what do I want to talk about today? I haven't seen the people in a while. What do I want to talk about? And I want to talk about consistency because I won't lie. I have been in and out of funk in this quarantine. Like, wow, like, do I need to choose a new career path? You felt that deep breath, right? Do I need to choose a new career path? But I can't see myself doing anything else but arts and arts business. Do I need to like find like 8 online jobs? You know what I'm saying? And everything is like, no, it just tells me to come right back to home, like come back to self and find different ways to thrive as a creative, from developing my merch to developing my website to advancing my performance when I'm performing for my audience, for the people who support me. How can I make that more engaging? How can I help them? And also, how I'm speaking to my people, because maybe about, I guess, 15, 20 years ago, this wouldn't have been the conversation. You'd be trying to find a place to perform. But now that we have we're so activated online, you know what I'm saying? From everybody has a smartphone to everyone has a computer, it just seems to make sense to me to find so many different ways online to thrive because we're all dealing with the web and there's just all of these opportunities. So I wanted to come on and talk about, how consistency is key. And though I'm not here weekly putting up videos, right? I do have a lot of videos up, and I've been putting videos up for, I think it's been about 8 or 9 years. I've been putting videos up, and I might not have like a specific day, and I'm working on that, and it coming out weekly every week, which is what I'm working out on that. I've been thinking about maybe I'll come on every day and drop a little bit of word. And if you guys would want to hear from me, about like 15 to 20 minutes out the day, leave a little comment about what you would like to hear from me or any questions you may have or things like that is how I'm thriving as a creative. And you know what? And honestly, take a view of some of my work and, see if it feeds your soul. And, if you have any questions about that, I know I'm not telling you, go and blindly ask questions, but really kind of like think about, what could I learn from her? What could she share? And I'd be glad to, jump on. But anyway, so consistency is key. And one of the things that I've realized with consistency is that it shows reliability. You know what I'm saying? Like, you show that you're reliable to yourself and then reliable to others, And I think that's an awesome trait to have. If you're being consistent in your work and people know you're reliable, especially if you're an independent artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know you're going to show up for the gig. They know you're going to come out with an awesome show. They know. And we are entrepreneurs. When we decide that we're going to do this full time, we are entrepreneurs. This is what we do. So having like that good reputation of reliability has helped me out as an artist. I'm not, my numbers aren't as affluent online, but in my community, showing that reliability has constantly got me gigs. And so there are people who value my work and they know what I can come with. And it shows a level of being reliable. So one of the first things that's why consistency is key and why it's so important is that you are seen as being reliable, you know? And then I think the second one kind of goes hand in hand, but you're dedicated. It shows your dedication. It shows that you're dedicated to your work. You know, when you show consistency, like you really are an artist, huh? Like you really do music, huh? Like you really are dedicated to this thing. And it's funny because I think for many years, I'm not sure if people knew how serious I was about doing music. I studied theater and I went to school for theater in high school at Duke Ellington, and then I went to college for theater. And I don't think a lot of people knew how dedicated I was to art. They were like, oh, she would go to school. And then, you know, I live in a government town. So, oh, and then she go work for the government. You know, yeah, that's what they do. You know, they go to school and then they, oh, that's so cute. They had that dream. And then when people saw how serious and how much I believed in myself, they were like, oh, wow, she's dedicated to this. You know, which leads into the third thing why consistency is key is that your following is earned also by watching you grow. When people see you as you have the reputation of being reliable, then you have the reputation of being dedicated, then you have this fan base that's like, yeah, you're dope, but you also really like do this. I watched you, you know, at the beginning stages of this develop into this creative human being, this professional, and I'm just like enamored that you stepped out on faith and you decided to keep it going. So I find that to be masterful, you know, that when you are consistent, that others are watching you and your consistency and your reputation and reliability and your dedication. Like that's also why consistency is key, which flows into the next thing, right? Where I felt myself flowing into it anyway, was that you refine what you do and being consistent, you are refining your work. You know what I'm saying? And then like with each level, you're able to find other ways to reach your audience, to connect with them. Your audience knows you, they've grown with you, you know? So you get to refine and fine tune, sticking to your dream and becoming sharper and sharper and making it connect more. I mean, there are songs that I wrote when I was like 18 and 19 years old, right? That were like just burning in my gut that like I see now as premonitions, right? Like, or me foretelling, me foretelling my me foretelling my future in a sense, right? And when I'm doing these songs now, I'm like, whoa. And it was crazy because then I think about it, so I was speaking so abstractly. And now I'm like, in my maturity, I'm like, yo, that's where I was coming from. This was the way I was putting words to it, but it wasn't clarified, right? And so I started performing these verses and started getting even deeper in what I was saying. And now when I tell those stories, I'm like, I was mad because you know what I'm saying? I liked that boy the whole time, right? And I didn't know how to tell him no, or something like that, right? I'd be like, oh my God, I was all in my feelings. I was in my relationship feelings, you know what I'm saying? Calling it something else because you know we put those what do we put? We put that we put those blinders, we perpetrate, you know what I'm saying? We perpetrate the fraud whole time. Like, oh no, I ain't like him that much. You know, the whole time, you know, you had those feelings. So yeah, like that's what's so awesome is you refine what you do, you're connecting to your work and you're adding a little bit more salt here, a little pepper here, because you're learning yourself. You're seeing yourself in the mirror over and over, back in the mirror. You're back in the mirror over and over and over again. So it's really awesome to stay consistent because you get to refine what you do. You get to refine what you do. And then I have this last piece here. But it may flow into something else, but you teach yourself resilience. Oh, I'm going to tell you something. That thriving and resilience are two of the most strongest words I've heard in this pandemic. Straight up, thriving and resilience. And I think to have repeated that to myself has been so empowering. I've been resilient in this pandemic. Wow. We are showing resiliency. My music community is showing resiliency. We are showing we are resilient in this pandemic. That's something to be celebrated. And when you are consistent, you can even more deeply value that. Like I've actually failed in my business, right? I have lost money in my business. I've owed way too many taxes in my business. And then I came to the table and I was like, look, I need to figure this stuff out. I need to get straight. And I was empowered. I was empowered going back and doing my homework and finding out how can I dig myself out of this hole? How can I make this happen? And it took a lot of consistency, bravery, and patience. I mean, because my ideal of seeing like the government and when I owe them something, I'm just always like, I'm in trouble. What did I do? Like, And now I'm calling these people like all the time. Okay. So what I put in box A and box B? Oh, okay. But you didn't tell me that last week. Now I'm much more comfortable, right? And it's because I've been consistent. I've been consistent. Consistency is key. Let me see if I can bring that home some more. Consistency is key. When you keep going at it, I think a level of fear breaks down even more and more. The more you keep going at it, the more you're empowered and strengthened to not look at it like this big, untangible monster. You know what I'm saying? When you kind of like piece away at it brick by brick and day by day, consistency can even help you create your own lane, your own path. Like there's just some people who've just been so consistent that you could not deny them space. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is not only like a household name as an actor, but he is like a duplicitous, a multiplicitous character who can be put in any space. When you literally will watch a film and it's like a hero film, you're like, they should have put Denzel right there. He would have got the job done. But this is not Denzel. It's not Denzel's movie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't even audition for this, right? But because we know his consistency, I just crept that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's number 6. You know what I'm saying? When you are consistent, you can create your own lane. You can create your own space. And how wondrous is that we are able to do this in this whole YouTube era, in this whole Instagram era. You don't need the higher ups. You don't need the big, the big names and all of that in your face. You know what I'm saying? To tell you, you can be whoever you want to be, whatever you want to articulate, and create your own space as long as you are consistent. Hello. How many times have you listened to an artist that you just came up on? You're like, oh, this person is awesome. And then you look back like, oh, they had this song out 5, 6 years ago. You all late to the game. You wasn't even at they're at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But nobody else knows about them yet. But you went back and you saw like, wow, they, now they got 32,000 views. They've got 1 million views because they built up that consistency. Consistency is key. Consistency is resilience. It refines what you do. You earn your fan base even because they're watching you grow. You show to others that you're dedicated. You show to yourself that you're dedicated. You show to others that you're reliable. You show yourself that you're reliable. I feel like reliable is like right there with dedication. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, you can mix the two. But consistency is key. I really am glad that I came to talk to you all about this today because I'm telling you, I had to do a couple of inhale and exhales like, okay, like, how am I going to map this thing? And I look forward to really sharing with you guys like how, you know what I'm saying? Like each piece, I want to come back and talk about, how I've done crowdfunding. How do I, I've done Patreon, how I've, done my YouTubes, how I try to stay active on my Instagram, how I'm still creating in the pandemic. Like, I definitely want to come and share all of those things with you guys. But today was as a day where I really felt challenged. And I know when I'm challenged, there's a space for change and shifting and evolving, right? There's space for that. And I told myself, you've been consistent. You don't have to attack all of it today, but you can attack a piece of it today and keep rolling and moving forward. So I know that was a mouthful, and I'm gonna get better at this. I tell you, I'm gonna get better at this. I'm gonna get a nice good rhythm. It's gonna be something else. Watch me, it's gonna happen. It's your girl, Dior Ashley Brown. That's MIZZDABISBAD. Woo! I ain't lose it. MIZZDABISBAD. Thank you all so much for tuning in and joining me. I got so much more coming for you. I really, really do. I'm working on it. We in the pandemic. Got to stay focused. Consistency is key. We got this, Dabbers. We got this. I appreciate you, Dan Fam. Peace.